there's other good reasons. So I'm looking at the simplest life, and it's funny to talk about life as simple because it ain't simple. It's not simple. So let's talk about the simplest life. A single cell. If you know how complicated a single cell is, go on Google and just look up this cell and look at all its parts, the nucleus and all that goes into a cell. And then I want you to imagine blowing up a single cell to the scale of a human being. So imagine a very large single cell. And what you'll notice is a lot of moving parts, a lot of intricate working parts. Would you ever be able to believe that a cell, a big cell, could ever form by chance? The answer is no. You're looking at the parts and you're saying, well, that couldn't have formed by chance, and all those intricate parts that are all moving, they could never assemble by chance, and not to mention the parts themselves couldn't assemble by chance. So you also need to keep in mind that what is true on a large scale is also true on a miniature scale. If the parts, let's use an aeroplane as an, or the microphone again, because the microphone's here. If a microphone could not form by chance on this scale, if I shrunk it down to a microscopic scale, does that make a microphone more plausible to happen by chance? No. In fact, I'd say it makes it even more improbable. The smaller something is, the more complex it is, or the harder it is to make.
You arrogant punk.
So, life could not have formed by chance, and this is the crux of the issue. An evolutionist will say that they think that the first life formed in some primordial soup billions of years ago from which all life came.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. Thus begins the unforgettable adventure of man.
However, they weren't there when it happened, they've never observed that happening, and they have no proof that it could happen. On that basis alone, you have no reason to believe in evolution. Also, you can't explain where all the matter came from. Some people say matter always existed. Great, I say God always existed. There's nothing intellectually dishonest about either position other than the fact that I don't think matter can be eternal.
Brilliant.
Life shows evidence of design, and therefore you have no reason not to believe in a designer. Logically. If you're just being honest. If we're being honest here, that's honest. I was kicked out of Hebrew school at a young age for preaching that we came from monkeys and that I didn't believe in God and that the Big Bang made us all, all that stuff. I was raised in Hebrew school, so I believed in these Jewish stories, stories like Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark, the Flood, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the Exodus, Moses, the Ten Commandments, Israel, Jerusalem, King David. If we're being honest here, that's honest. If we're being honest here, that's honest. If we're being honest here, that's honest.
If you tell a lie long enough and loud enough and often enough, the people will believe it.
I was kicked out of Hebrew school. I was raised in Hebrew school. I was kicked out of Hebrew school. I was raised in Hebrew school. If we're being honest here, that's honest. All at once, it became incredibly clear to me. Okay, there's a God. He made everything. And he has revealed himself primarily, first, to the Jews, then to the Gentiles, through the person of Jesus Christ. For me, it's a no-brainer. It's as obvious as me standing here in front of you. And I hope, if you guys are intellectually honest, you will come to the same conclusion.
Every duck's got his limit, and you scum have pushed me over the line.